November 17th, 2012 to order. And have a roll call, please.
Present.
Here.
Here. Present. Here.
The New Jersey Open Public Meeting Law is enacted to ensure the right of the public to advance notice of, attend the meetings of the public meetings of which any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this act, the Fairlawn Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, and place thereof, distributed to the persons on the approved list, posted in the Board of Education office, and sent to the Bergen Record and Star Ledger. The announcement posted for the regular monthly meeting along with the date, time, and place thereof was distributed on January 18th, 2022. Items to be discussed during the closed work session, which we already had, include personnel matters, student matters, legal matters, negotiations, and/or grievances, tactics and techniques utilized to protect the public safety and property. The results of these discussions will be public as soon as possible. Would you join me in the flag salute? Pledge allegiance. At this time, I'm going to turn the meeting over to the superintendent, and I think we have some students. Okay, good.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you. I just have way too much stuff in front of me. Good evening. Thank you for being here. First and foremost, I just want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving as we come up on the short week next week. Please enjoy this time in whatever it is that you enjoy doing with your loved ones, alone, whatever it is, but please enjoy this and happy Thanksgiving to everybody. I'd also want to acknowledge our high school staff for the unbelievable memorial they did for our veterans at Fairlawn High School. My apologies that I could not be there. I was out of town for the weekend, but I've heard nothing but amazing things about the veteran memorial at Fairlawn High School. Sorry, Asha, I'm stealing your thunder because she's going to speak about that. But this was in the making for several years now. And to see a monument that'll be there forever, and to see in the school as our veterans will be acknowledged the right way, is just amazing. And that's what makes Fairlawn so special. Thank you very much. And I am going to turn it over to our student reps right now. We have Aiden from Memorial Middle School. We have Julie from TJ Middle School. And we have Asha from Fairlawn High School as usual.
On Wednesday, November 23rd, in memory of Christian Tuardos and Peter Tysco, the Walkathon will kick off our 4th annual Christian Kicks with Love from Peter Holiday Drive. During the 30 days between Thanksgiving and the holiday break, students will be provided with a variety of ways to help us raise funds that will be used to purchase care packages for patients receiving treatment at Hackensack Children's Hospital. Each includes a Vans backpack, a new pair of Christian's favorite colored Vans shoes, and a Lids gift card for each child to be able to purchase a hat of their choice. As our hope is to provide a little bit of comfort and add a spring to each child's step during their medical journey.
On Friday, November 4th, Memorial Middle School celebrated Veterans Day as a community. Thank you to all of the teachers, staff, and students for all the ways they helped take part in our Salute to Service experience. This was a very special day, as it has been 3 years since we have been able to gather as a school community to honor our veterans with a school-wide assembly. We are thankful that so many veterans chose to spend their day with us. In addition to being honored during our assembly, our visitors participated in a flag ceremony as we retired our flag outside and replaced it with a new American flag. The students were instructed on how to properly fold an American flag and the meaning of each of the 13 folds. Throughout the day, the veterans visited classrooms, participated in discussions, and answered student questions. Thank you, Mr. Norcia, who joined us for our assembly and helped us pay tribute to all the veterans who visited Memorial.
At TJ on Monday, November 14th, local veterans Ashley Luther, David Boone, John Delaney, Jim Florio, and Don Morris met with students to share stories about their service. As has become tradition at TJ, we have set America's white table outside of the auditorium, where it will remain until Thanksgiving. The table is round to show our everlasting devotion and concern for our fallen and missing comrades. The cloth is white, symbolizing the purity of their motives when answering the call to duty. The single red rose, displayed in a vase, reminds us of the life and the blood that was shed, and their loved ones and friends who keep the faith and await answers. The vase is tied with a red ribbon, symbol of our commitment and continued determination to account for our missing. A slice of lemon on the plate is to remind us of the bitter fate of those captured and missing in a foreign land. The salt is to remind us of the tears endured by those missing and their families who still seek answers. The black napkin is a reminder of the isolation, deprivation, and cruel fate of our missing. The glass is inverted to symbolize their inability to share this evening with us. And the chair is empty and tilted and will remain so until they return or are accounted for.
Next Wednesday, November 23rd, Memorial will host its first Points of Light ceremony of the school year. Points of Light is a reflection and recognition ceremony where students are honored and celebrated for sharing their positive character, sportsmanship, and serving as a role model and light for others. All staff are invited and encouraged to nominate students in any grade level. During the ceremony, students, staff, and administration help recognize students on stage in front of their peers. Our Points of Light recipients light candle to symbolize the light they continue to shine on Memorial Middle School and their community.
An initiative that was established during our morning COVID announcements, the Honor Scroll of Character acknowledges students for instilling a positive school climate and a culture of kindness. Each marking period, teachers are asked to nominate one student to the TJ Character Honor Roll based on any of the 7 pillars of character: caring, citizenship, courage, fairness, respect, responsibility, or trustworthiness. Students will be recognized with a certificate, letter, and invitation to attend a breakfast with the nominating teacher and their parents. One student per day will be highlighted in our morning announcements.
Memorial Student Council and Celebrate America work together to run our traditional Thanksgiving food drive. In continued support of our service motto, students and staff donated items which were delivered this week to Fairlawn Food Pantry. We're excited to report that we were able to donate 828 food items to the food pantry, which goes directly to support local families in need this Thanksgiving. Well done, Memorial.
Under the direction of our guidance counselors, Mrs. Fleming and Mr. Verity, 22 of our 7th and 8th grade Peers for Peace Peer Leadership Club members visited Milnes Elementary School on Wednesday, November 16th. During their visit, our peer leaders were paired up and assigned to 11 different classrooms, grades K through 2, where they collaborated with the teachers to read books that aligned with topics students were currently working on in class. The Peers for Peace Club organizes one visit to Milnes Elementary School per marking period, a total of 4 per year. These read-aloud visits help create meaningful connections between Milnes Elementary School students and our 7th and 8th grade peer leaders, while also providing our peer leaders with opportunities to build valuable skills, such as independence, responsibility, communication, and public speaking.
This past Tuesday, 8th grade drama club members from both Memorial and TJ were invited to Fairlawn High School to enjoy a performance of Little Women by the Mask. In addition to this performance, the drama theater teachers held a workshop for the students to support their drama instructions. Thank you, Dr. Pankowitz, Mr. Gorski, Ms. Gormley, Mr. Downey, and Mr. Jersey for welcoming our students, supporting their drama interests, and helping them make new friends who share common interests. We hope to have started a new tradition which allows our Memorial School students to visit the high school performances during the school day. As well, as always, thank you for allowing us to present to the Board of Education on all the wonderful events occurring at the Memorial Middle Schools. On behalf of Memorial and TJ school communities, we wish you and your loved ones a happy Thanksgiving. Please know that we are grateful for all the work you do to make our education the best it can be.
Nice job, guys. Great job.
Thank you.
Good. Excellent. Asha?
Hi, everyone. My name is Asha Thomas. First of all, thank you for giving Fairlawn High School the opportunity to be represented at these meetings. So from last month's board meeting, I mentioned that Fairlawn High School was off to a very successful start, and I still stand by this statement. Today we had our first General Assembly meeting of the year. We had executive board members that were leading this meeting, so that's the 5 officers that were elected last year. We had executive committee members. There were 23 members, and they attended as well. And we had our newly elected homeroom representatives. Our homeroom representatives, there's usually 1 or 2 from each homeroom, and essentially their job is to just report back everything that is discussed during these General Assembly meetings. So we had representatives from all grade levels, and it was definitely really exciting to see them all getting involved. During this meeting, we also discussed their responsibilities and roles going forward. As for the General Assembly, things that we also discussed were the subcommittees that our executive committee was divided into. We have 5 subcommittees as of right now, those being education, equity, school spirit, cafeteria, and building and grounds. These are 5 areas that we thought our students should really be involved in, and we're excited to see the work that they do in the future. We also touched upon Spirit Week events. Our Spirit Week has kicked off this week with penny races, a very beloved tradition at Fairlawn High School. We have grade levels essentially being pitted against each other in friendly competition as they race to collect the most pennies possible. So pennies are positive points, and any other coin, dollar bill is negative points. So far, we have a $20 bill in the senior bucket, and it is killing us at the moment. Besides that, we also have our apparel days, which will be starting tomorrow with a whiteout day. Monday is going to be red out, Tuesday is gray out, and then Wednesday we'll have Fairlawn Apparel Day. And all students are encouraged to wear the Fairlawn apparel that they bought during the apparel sales, which were also very successful. We also discussed the Day of Gratitude and Reflection, which will be on Wednesday. And this day, while we don't have a ton of information on it yet, will be a culminating day talking about all the privileges that we have at Fairlawn High School and just reflecting on that. We also talked about Relay for Life, which is a new opportunity at Fairlawn High School, and we're joining forces with Glen Rock High School this year to help support Relay for Life. And this is essentially a cause going back to the American Cancer Society. The event will take place on the night of June 3rd, and it'll be going into the morning of June 4th. So it's an overnight event where students will essentially be walking around the track at Glen Rock High School throughout the night in support of this cause. There'll be food and events all night, so it's a really exciting event, and we're really happy to be partnering with Glen Rock High School to make this happen. Besides that, we also had our class presidents report during the General Assembly, and they reported really good things. The freshman class council reported consistent membership and attendance, as well as their successful apparel sales and bake sales. The sophomore class talked about their successful fundraisers and food nights. The class of 2024 also successful food nights, and class of 2023 was talking about our bagel sales, our events during Halloween, which was very fun, our senior sunrise, which took place on October 4th, and then some dates that are important coming up. So prom being May 31st and graduation being June 21st. Outside of General Assembly, the main other topic we had for this meeting was the Veterans Day Memorial. So we had a dedication ceremony for military tributes, and our student leaders from the Interact Club attended this, and overall it was a very successful event where we honored veterans, and as Mr. Norcia said, it was a really meaningful experience for all who attended. Mr. Gorski was talking to me, and he said it was a really meaningful experience to get to talk with all the veterans firsthand, and it was a really great event. So thank you for everyone who was there. Yeah, that's all from Fairlawn High School. Thank you for allowing us to be represented.
Great job. Great job. And thank you for being here every month and providing this report. It allows us to make decisions, to sit up here and remind us of why we do what we do. And it's about what happens in those buildings, in those schools, and because of you. So well done. Thank you very much, and have a great night, guys.
Thank you.
All right, now we're getting set up. We're going to open the floor to public comment on agenda items. As soon as we get set up, you can step up, just state your name, sign in the book, address your comments to the chair, and 3 minutes, please. So, hello.
Good evening. Pamela Coles, 13-34 George Street in Fair Lawn. I'm here, and I don't have a copy of the agenda. And at any time, because I am a taxpayer, at any time, is it a possibility that we can have agendas printed out, even if it's 5 or 10 copies, so the people who walk in and who are, thank you, awesome. I just had my question answered. Thank you.
We bring a couple for every meeting. We decided to do it a couple months ago to start doing that.
Beautiful, thank you so much. Do I sign? Okay.
Good evening. Lisa Yorman, 66 Nottingham Road. I'd like to discuss item 5, the retirements of our of teachers and staff. Congratulations to them for their service to our school community. I want to say thank you, and I would like to bring attention to the nurse that would be retiring. She's a fellow Fair Lawn graduate in my class, and nurses go above and beyond and went above and beyond while my children were in school, and I just want to thank her personally, as I've known her for a very, very long time. And item K,
Item K, what number?
I have no idea.
10K. Approval of gifts and grants?
No, after the enrichment programs? I know I folded it down. Well, I do want to know, just a question, because I don't have the attachment, the scholarship that you're adding, it doesn't give any specifics on the paper copy. I was just wondering what the scholarship was on the previous page. Or somewhere here, I don't know, I didn't write it down, but there was a scholarship that was given, it said, see attachment, but just a little bit about the scholarship, because,
Any other questions? And then I'll answer them all at the end.
oh, sure. L and M, about the approval of the elementary after-school chess club services, and the approval of the elementary after-school coding classes. I just want to say I'm very supportive of having this enrichment after school. And I also want to thank one of your board members, Rita Favelovich, who I know has been pushing to have these enrichment courses after school. And I want to thank her for being the one that initiated the conference among all the board members. And I thank the board members for approving this service to our kids, our elementary school students. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any other members of the audience like to talk about any agenda items? Okay. Wait, is there anybody on Google, whatever? Nope. Okay. Yeah, so, all right, you get the question in, Nick, you ready?
Do you- all right.
Good evening.
No, wait, can I
Wait.
answer her question
Nick's
first?
got to answer the question.
If you want to answer them for me, I'd be happy to answer them. So, yes, congratulations to the retirements. Sorry, I can't see it, Mrs. Yerman. The enrichment programs, yes, we're very excited about that. We're really glad that the board supported this initiative in the budget last year to offset the cost for the parents. And the scholarship is the Captain's Award, honoring the years in service and contributions of Mr. Richard Zurer. And it is a $500 scholarship for a graduating senior who meets the following requirements: good academic and citizenship record, further his or her training in education, and acceptance into a 2- or 4-year program or trade school. So it's, all the details are on the attachment on board docs. But it's a $500 scholarship called the Captain's Award. You're welcome.
Thank you. Okay. All right, now we'll go to switch the board. I got Vlad. Anybody else want to talk? Vlad, Rita, and then we'll come back to you else. And Mike. Okay. Vlad, Rita, Mike. And then
Good evening, everybody. So I have a few small comments. First, item 7G3, Volunteer Club Advisors. I just want to say thank you very much to teachers who are volunteering as club advisors. It's very much appreciated. Then item 5A, retirements. As usual, congratulations to all retirees. A special congratulations to Martha Bombardier, who was here for more than 30 years, I think 37 says here. That's quite an accomplishment. And she registered all my 3 kids to Fairlawn schools. So thank you for that. Same after-school classes, items 10L and 10M. This is great. I'm very excited about these classes. Code Ninjas and the Chess Club. This is great. Thank you. Last but not least, item 7H3, job description that we're approving. Just to make it clear, I have a question. Well, just to confirm, this is even though this is a new position, this is not additional staff member. We're just taking existing position and we're changing it into this new position, correct?
That is correct.
Thank you. I'm done.
Okay, Rita.
So my question, hi, hello, can you hear me? Yeah?
Yeah, you can, yeah.
So my question is, why wasn't that phrased what Mr. Itkin says, the last one, that we're changing the position? Why is not that phrased in the agenda? Why is it just saying job position?
What number was it again?
7H3.
Because we're just approving a job description. We never approve a job description and say, well, here's a job description, but doesn't cost money, or here's a job description and it costs $100,000. We're just approving a job description, not the cost, not the budget, not how much it is. But it's not. We are taking an existing position and we're changing it into this new position. But this is, the board is literally approving a job description. They're not approving anything monetary. They're not approving anything. Is this replacing somebody like that? So we're just following the agenda right now.
My other question is, are we going to, in the next meeting, change, because we're approving a new position in a way, because this position never existed in our district. Are we going to approve in the next meeting the new position and reduce the other position? Because according to school boards, that's the policy. That's the right way to do it.
We will be bringing a recommendation for that position up, and during budget time, we will update the budget so that there's either any new or old positions are abolished or new, but we're not going to do it at the next board meeting, but we do it on a yearly basis. We get rid of old positions and new positions.
And we're going to write abolish this position and add a new,
If that's what we feel we recommend, we will. Right now, though, we're just approving a job description, and next week we are approving, or next month, on December 12th, we will actually be approving the person that we are recommending, if the board approves it.
okay. I'm still confused, but this is what with school boards, and I'm just going to say what I spoke
Go
to the
ahead.
school boards, and they say if you're making a new position, which we are, we have to approve the new position, not just the job description. And then if you're reducing in force by changing the job description, we have to state that on the agenda, and the board has to approve it. That's how they just explained it to me. Can the board attorney weigh in? It isn't, because we're saying we have X positions. If we don't abolish that position on the budget, we're technically saying we have that position too.
I don't think the board attorney is going to address this tonight, because it just came up for the first time, as far as I know, is this particular item. So we'll ask Mr. Comegno to look into it, and he can get back to us on it.
In the job description, it doesn't say the number of hours the employees, like, is it a 40 hours? Is it a part-time? Is it a full-time position? I looked at other job description, and it states the number of hours, like 40 hours plus no overtime, or is it 35-hour position? Where is that going to be addressed?
I will get back to the board on that, what hours it is. I
Is
wasn't
that gonna be-
prepared- I wasn't prepared to answer that question at this given time.
Is that going to be added to the job description, or where would that be located once you,
I will circle back with the board on that
and when will we get a response?
in a timely fashion.
So by next week?
In a timely fashion,
Rita.
is a timely fashion, no matter.
Okay. I'm excited that we are doing 10L and 10M, which is the school enrichment after-school activity. I think that's awesome. One question is, why are we not approving math science, or because we already have a contract, or what? We're just doing the chest and we're doing coding? Or maybe I misunderstood.
Mad Science will be starting, I believe it's in April, so we are still waiting to get their information regarding their contract. And yes, we have used them before, but we will probably still have a contract from them. Right now, we wanted to get these two on because they are starting the end of November. So unlike the Mad Science is doing all the schools at the exact same time. These two companies are staggering it throughout the year. So we needed to get them on now so that we can start them November 28th. So you'll see that in a future agenda.
Okay. And when will this be how this will be advertised to the parents?
It'll be sent home in the Friday update from the principals to the parents so that they know. It'll also probably be blasted out on social media, Peach Jar, we clearly want to get as many students as possible.
So it'll be on Facebook and Twitter of the school?
Potentially.
And then also, can it also be on the bulletin board, the electronic bulletin board, enrichment classes sign up? The more we advertise, the more chances parents will know what's going on. Because I know there's a lot of emails, and it's very hard to juggle everything in life. So having just one email, it's not so easy to read all the emails.
I respectfully will probably not be putting it on the digital signs outside because there's a million different course offerings and things that we have. So if we put it up for one, we're going to get many requests to put up all these things on our digital signs, and that's really not the purpose of it. When we surveyed our community last year, they actually said one of the most useful ways of them obtaining information is the principal's email on a Friday. So, we're very comfortable with that, plus social media. So that's where it'll be.
Can it be at least on the district, on the,
Rita, you got your answer. You got your answer. They're not going to put it on the marquees. Okay, move on, please.
no, you don't even
You
know
got
what
your
I'm
answer.
saying.
Please move on.
Okay, let me just finish what I would like to say. I have my time, Mr.
No, you
Bonta.
still have your time, but don't
Okay,
keep asking the same question over and over, is all I'm saying.
Okay. Can it be put on the schools, each school's website, so that at least it's marked that to register. Maybe that will be another way to advertise.
I'll speak with the principals about it and we'll see, but I'm not going to micromanage their individual school websites for this right now at this time.
Thank you.
Mike?
Yeah, I would just like to recognize all of the retirees. There's a lot of years through all of them, and a lot of good positions that are going to, that are retiring, and I wish them all well in retirement.
Thank you, Mike. Rita?
Is that my second round? Is that okay?
This is your second time, yeah.
I thought we got from the board attorney that we don't have, that we don't do job description approval. Is that wrong with his legal opinion, or did I misunderstand?
I'll actually answer it for you if you don't mind. It was not that we do not approve new job descriptions, it's just the board does not write the job descriptions. See, I actually read what you send me, Mr. Comagno.
Rita, is that it or something else?
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, any other board members? Seeing none? A motion for items. Sorry. Sorry, 5A through D, please.
So moved.
All in favor? No, I'm sorry. Roll call, please. All right, I'll go back to that. All right. Yeah, sorry. All right, we'll be out of order.
Yes.
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 I'm sorry, voting section 5?
5.
Yes, yes.
No, we're going to go back to the minutes. Yes. Okay, thank you. All right, motion for number 3, approval of minutes.
So moved.
Second? Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay. Number 6A through D. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
A roll call, please.
I'm sorry, are we doing 6 or 7?
6.
Yes.
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 Ms. Quackenbush,
Yes.
Mr. Spindell, and Mr. Banta.
Yes. Motion for 7A through H, please.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Spindell.
Yes.
Mr. Baldowski. Yes. Mrs. Mahan. Yes. Mr. Barbarillo.
Yes.
Mr. Rosenberg.
Yes.
Mr. Itkin.
Yes.
Ms. Quackenbush.
Yes.
Ms. Favolovich.
No on 7H3 and 7F5.
And yes on the rest.
Yes.
And Mr. Banta.
Yes. Motion for numbers 8A and B, please.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Itkin.
Yes.
Mr. Spindell.
Yes.
Mr. Barbarillo.
Yes.
Mr. Rosenberg.
Yes.
Mrs. Mahan. Ms. Favolovich.
Yes.
Ms. Quackenbush.
Yes.
Mr. Baldowski. Yes. And Mr. Banta.
Yes. A motion for 9A through D, please.
So moved.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Spindell.
Yes.
Ms. Quackenbush,
Yes.
Mr. Itkin,
Yes.
Mr. Barbarillo,
Yes.
Mr. Rosenberg.
Yes.
Mrs. Mahan. Ms. Favela?
Yes.
Mr. Baldowski. And Mr. Banta.
Yes. And finally, can I have a motion for 10A through O, please?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Spindell. No, I'm sorry. I just,
Yes.
You're gonna win a lottery.
yeah.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna play the lottery.
Mr. Barbarillo.
Yes.
Mrs. Mahan. Mr. Baldowski.
Yes.
Ms. Quackenbush.
Yes.
Ms. Favela?
Yes.
Mr. Rosenberg.
Yes.
Mr. Itkin.
Yes.
And Mr. Banta.
Yes. Okay, at this time, we're going to turn the meeting over to public comments on non-agenda items. If you could just step up, sign in again, or first time, depending on where you are, and state your name.
I do
What?
want to say, Gene, you could stay there, don't worry about it. But there was a question that did come in
Oh.
late for the public comment, but I'll answer.
Okay.
It was from Christine Weinstein. They wanted to know about the SAT prep class being approved for residents. They have to pay for residents as well, running through the community school, SAT prep class. If I am wrong, I will let you know, but I believe the SAT prep course, they are paying for as well through community school. And also, thank you for renewing tutor.com. I believe this was not the case list. Oh, no, that was the SAT prep course. And can they provide additional presentations for parents on tutor.com? And yes, they will. We spoke with them about that, and they're going to be doing more tutorials for parents, whatever we need to help make the process easy.
Thank you, Nick. Hi, Jean. You're on.
Hi, Jean.
You're on.
I'm Jean Brown, 1320 3rd Street. I just wanted to ask for an update on where we were with getting resources for the hidden opponent for our athletes at the high school and the middle school.
So we actually met with Care Plus on that, and I believe effective. Oh, we are waiting. That's
Waiting for
right.
the end.
Oh,
Thank
well,
you.
sorry.
Sorry. I was wondering why I was getting yelled
That was
at.
it, thanks.
Any other members of the public would like to step up?
Lisa Yorman, 66 Nottingham Road. So I had the opportunity over the last couple of months to pass by Warren Point School. And what I noticed was there's a marquee in the back of the school at the Rosalie Street area. It's like around 30th and Rosalie. And I noticed that they have a marquee up that's like, looks pretty old. And I was wondering who would actually replace something compared to the beautiful one that they have on Broadway. So just out of curiosity, just to see if we can kind of upgrade our facilities so that they don't look aged. At the last meeting, I asked about the ADA handicap accessibility at Memorial School. I still have not received a response with regard to the two handicap parking spots in front of the building. I happened to be in the community center last Thursday, and I ran into the ADA committee with some of the members that I've known over the years. And I mentioned it to them, and they actually said that our mayor has received a complaint from a public member or resident of Fairlawn with regard to those spaces. But also in walking around and seeing things, and I haven't walked through all the outside of the schools, but Warren Point and Forest schools, I have a problem with ADA accessibility into the building. Last board meeting, I asked for the average class size of our elementary schools. I noticed, and I didn't get an answer for that either. But I did notice in some of the classes, like in grade, at Milnes in grade 4, there's 107 students. And I just wondered, how many classes there are in Milnes in the 4th grade. And also I'm looking at Radburn, kindergarten 1st, and Warren Point, 3rd and 4th. Okay, and the next one would be, I was looking through the curriculums and the web design course under the business curriculum, which is a web design course. It says that it has Creative Suite 3, and Creative Suite 3 that's listed there was born in 2007, and it passed muster in 2012 because there's a need for CS 4, 5, 6, 7, and the new one. So that's one question. On the graphic.
Lisa, your 3 minutes is up.
Okay.
Well, let me just, you know what, don't go anywhere. Anybody else from the public want to speak? All right, Joan, and then Lisa, you can come back, you another 3 minutes.
Joan Piala, 2-19, Summit Ave, Fairlawn. I want to congratulate Michael on being re-elected as a board member. Congratulations to Lisa, too, and to Ed Bertolini. I know I've been in that position as a board member, and I want to congratulate them for giving their time and service to the schools of Fairlawn. And the students that talked before, it was just wonderful to hear how wonderful things are going on in Fairlawn. So I just wanted to congratulate everyone.
Okay, anybody else? All right, Lisa, it's up. You're up.
Lisa Yorman. So going back to the graphic design course, it listed just Adobe Creative Suite. It doesn't give the version number, but I'm not going to assume anything. It's on Mac. I was just wondering what the version that's being used, and also on Visual Basic, what's the version being used in Visual Basic, which is not listed. And then in the guidance area where they list about each course, they don't seem to match up with what the curriculum is. So it's kind of very confusing of how to pick and choose how things are done, because it doesn't match on both sides. Tutor.com, I think at the last board meeting, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that we had talked about having some numbers of how many kids are signed up to Tutor.com. So I'm asking how many students have signed up to Tutor.com across the district. And for the last thing, the board retreat is this Saturday, 8:30 to whenever it is. It is a public meeting, so anybody can come and join in. Thank you very much. Have a great night.
Thank you. Anybody on Google Forms, whatever it's called?
Like me to answer questions?
Yes, so you can answer questions.
Gene, again, thank you. We did discuss it with Care Plus and ESS, Effective School Solutions. They said they had some ideas for it, and then they're going to get back to us. We do meet with them, Natalie, Camille, and myself, usually on like a monthly basis. So at our next meeting, we'll bring it back up with them again. So, yep. You're welcome. Lisa, the marquee, actually, at Natalie, can you do me a favor? Would you mind just sliding that podium over? All right. I feel bad. Knock it over. I don't care. Thank you. Thank you, Rick. And Natalie, for your assistance. That was nice. That was nice. Must be an assistant superintendent. Second marquee was purchased for Warren Point by the Warren Point PTA, so there actually is a brand new one that's supposed to be going up by Rosalie. Only problem is that when it was purchased and it was donated, installation was not taken into consideration, and it's about $14,000 to install. Our maintenance guys, being the great guys that they are, they will do it for us for probably $200. So they're going to be doing it in the spring when the ground thaws out. So yeah, so we will be having that sign go up probably in the spring. We do have a brand new digital sign for Warren Point that'll be going up then, but we're just waiting so that we could save money rather than to go out and pay some company $13,000 or $14,000 to pour concrete. Your next question was, yes, and Run Electric as well. I got it, I know. So I did follow up on the ADA, handicap accessible. I also read about it in the paper this past week. And I followed up with the borough manager on what is required for ADA parking spaces. And he shared with me the guide to ADA compliant accessible parking, specifically page 7, which breaks down exactly how many spaces, handicap spaces you need by how many actual parking spaces that you do have. And I will tell you that we have enough parking space, handicap spaces by code. If you really want me to read them off, Westmoreland has 36 regular spots with 2 handicap, Memorial 134 with 8 handicap, High School 225 with 8 handicap, Forest 39 with 2 handicap, Lincrest 12 with 1 handicap, TJ 141 with 6 handicap, Milnes 48 with 2 handicap, Edison 118 with 6 handicap, Radburn 41 with 2 handicap, Warren Point 49 with 2 handicap, and Bergen Ave has 39 regular spaces with 2 handicap. If I read them too quick, I encourage you to watch the live stream when you're at home. Class sizes are 20.5 for the elementary schools. No, this is not back and forth. So class sizes at elementary
Lisa, hold on a
school
second. Let him finish.
is 20.5, but since you can't cut a student in half and count them as 0.5, I would say the average class size at elementary school is between 20 and 21. The curriculum question, thank you for your comment. We will share that with our curriculum supervisors. Joan, yes, congratulations to all our winners. We actually officially congratulate them at the reorg meeting as well, and when we get the official from the county, but it looks official, so congratulations. And thank you, Joan, for those comments. And tutor.com, if I could log into tutor.com while I'm here, I'll try to let you know what the numbers are. Otherwise, I will give an update at the next board meeting. Thank you very much. No, I'm not prepared to answer any curriculum questions. I said I would speak with the curriculum supervisors about that.
Okay, at this time, I'll turn it over to the board, and I saw Julie and Cindy and Mark. I'll look around.
Julie's first. Let the minutes reflect that.
Julie, you can start talking.
So that's working. I just wanted to say congratulations to not only the 3 people who were elected, but to everyone who took the time to run for a seat on the board, because regardless of whether you're sitting up here or sitting in the audience or sitting at home and listening to this, or not, and are listening to it afterwards because you're putting your kids to bed, whatever you're doing, thank you, because the more people that are involved, the better supported our students are and the better supported our staff are, and you don't have to be sitting up at this table in order to have a voice. So thank you to everyone, because I know how much effort it takes and how much time it does take away from your family and your life, and I am grateful to every single person who did that. Second, thank you so much again to the board for ensuring that election day was safe for everybody. Having the schools closed may not always feel so convenient for parents, whether they are at home working, whether they're working or not. It's not, but it kept our kids safe, and thank you so much again also to ensuring that not just our students are safe, but our staff were safe, and the only people that were in our building were essential workers. Because at the end of the day, in order for us to be successful, our kids need to be safe, they need to feel safe, our staff needs to feel safe, and for me, I knew that my kids being home on that day was the most important, and I'm so glad every single person's child was able to come to school the next day because they were safe the day prior. And lastly, I don't want to butcher this name. So I want to give a special thanks to the Milnes PTA, the Yellow Door Art Studio, and especially Miss Brown, who is one of the PE teachers at Milnes. If you haven't had the opportunity in the last week to come and take a look at what the grounds at Milnes look like, it is absolutely incredible. They put in a full creative arts and sensory walk that really not only brightened up our front walk of Milnes, but it's giving our kids the opportunity to have accessibility to different activities that may not involve a ball or may not involve having to fully interact if our students cannot, and it really looks beautiful. So if you are around this weekend, please go over and look. It's really beautiful, and our PTA and Ms. Brown and this art studio worked really hard on it, and I know my kids were really excited, as were all their friends. That's it.
Thank you, Julie. I've got Cindy, Mark, Rita, Joe, and then Cindy.
Thank you, Jean. I just wanted to say two things that I attended the past week. Friday was the Veterans Ceremony at the high school, and I know that other board members were also in attendance. My husband and I happened to be platinum sponsors for that event, so we were very, very excited to see the unveiling because it all started pre-COVID. We had to wait 2 years to see what it was going to be like. And as we were standing there, and it was so crowded, I was so impressed with how many people came. I was worried that the weather was going to keep people away, and it did not. As my husband and I were standing there, I couldn't help but notice all the vets that were underneath the tent. And I specifically were watching their faces as the curtain was being pulled away from the monument. And they were speechless and brought to tears, many of them. That monument is one of the most gorgeous things I think I have seen. I could not believe how incredible Dina DeSantis and Kristen Burke did as part of the Interact Club with their students to put this together. It is absolutely gorgeous. 2 benches on either side. I just was blown away at how beautiful this monument is. I encourage everybody to go and see it. It's lit up at night, which even makes it more gorgeous. And then when you go into the patio side of the high school, there is a wall there that is also attributed to the Interact Club, to Dina and Kristen, to all of the sponsors. And then there's a rolling screen that shows all of the veterans. It's not in alphabetical order. It's not in class order. So you just stand there and you wait for the things to circulate. I missed my nephew twice, but I'm going to stand there until I get a picture of him. But I just wanted to thank the administration, and my utmost thanks to Kristen and Dina and the Interact Club for putting together such a wonderful event. I think the vets were totally blown away. The luncheon afterwards was really nice. Everybody was, it was just a very warming and heartfelt experience, and they deserved all of the honor that was bestowed upon them that day. Saturday evening, I'm a member of the Fair Lawn Sunrise Rotary, and we put together a fundraiser for a Fair Lawn family, the Santucci family, that has 4 children, 3 of them with a terminal illness. We got together to raise money for a van that would hold 2 wheelchairs, and we worked very hard on this fundraiser. Everybody just did a lot of work. We solicited our very kind and generous business owners in Fair Lawn who contributed to the many baskets and the many things that we had. It was an honor and a privilege to meet the Santucci family. I had heard so much about them, but I had never met them personally. They are an inspiration to anyone. She spoke so eloquently, and she's a very, very strong woman. And I told her that it was a big honor and a privilege to meet her. We were able to raise the money for the van. She was presented with the keys that evening. And there is a host of pictures on Facebook regarding that evening, and pictures of the family and the smiles on their faces. And I just wanted to say thanks to everybody who came out and supported it, and also to the Sunrise Rotary for always putting service above self.
Thank you, Cindy. Mark?
It's very hard to follow. It really is. I wanted to wish all of the community a very happy Thanksgiving. I hope everyone has the time to spend with family, friends, and loved ones, time to relax, rewind, and just enjoy the time off. At the last board meeting, I brought up what I thought was something that was needed, and that was the work session period. I just want to know if we could have a specific time to discuss the need for this work session, to see if other board members are in agreement with me, or whether the matter is going to be dropped.
I don't think we're going to be able to do it this year.
I'm sorry?
I don't think we're going to be able to do it this year. You know, just Thanksgiving, winter
No,
break.
I understand,
So,
but can we do it possibly in January or so?
well, when the new board is seated, you can certainly bring it up again, because we're going to have
Okay.
2 new members and see what they want to do.
I'll bring it up back in
Okay.
January. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's it.
All right, so a couple of things. First of all, on our district website for the board, it says people can still dial in to register for the board meeting. Is that accurate? Can people call?
No, we will update our website.
Okay. Number 2, mental health page. Last year, we wrote the workshop for the parents, and this year, after last board meeting, parents got an email with all the dates. Can we put the dates and the code on their mental health page, please?
We actually had a problem with people having access to our codes by going to our page and going on social media who weren't Fair Lawn residents. And then they're asking questions and taking up time. And it's really not, so we email it to our parents so that our parents have it, and we try not to advertise it, because you have somebody from California who comes on and asking all the questions, and we're paying these people great money, and it's taking time up. So we're trying to just, keep it, even though this is live streamed, as hush-hush as possible, but we're not just, so we're emailing all of our parents who want to take part in it, and they have it.
So can we at least put the dates of our mental health page? If we put our dates and not the code, it's not going to make a huge difference, because people from other towns won't be able to join anyways.
But the parents do receive the email of specifically when it is. Julie, you're a parent, you receive it, correct?
I'm impressed. So I will tell you, as a parent who's uber involved, and most of my friends, we get everything sent to us on a remind from both our PTA. We get a Friday newsletter, and everything that, and this is, I can speak only to elementary. This is elementary wide. I think some other elementary schools use something a little bit different, but we use S'mores, as does Radburn, Lindcrest. I think Warren Point uses. Okay, and everything that's put on it, we get it every week, and it's like a hyperlink from our email. So that is the only thing I really look at. I don't disagree with you. I get a ton of emails. I delete all my PeachJar emails now because it's so much. But the thing that I use most is this S'mores weekly letter, and we get regular emails home from our teachers, which always come as important in my inbox. So I will be honest with you. I get you feeling like, can we put it on the website? Put it on the website. It's not.
It's actually is on our website. It has the dates, and it has the code ID
So I
and the
wouldn't
link.
even know, because I don't know any
So
of
it
the
does
parents,
even have
any
more
of
than I
my
thought. We're just-
mom friends. We don't use it.
So, yeah, we're just not looking to advertise it on social media. It's out there. Thank you.
can show you after, Rita.
All right, Rita, you got anything else?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I brought it up last board meeting regarding listing all our books and all our textbooks, our English books that we use for reading, like literature. And I also would like to add computer programs that we use for our classes. I think it will be easier for the board, for the district to update this a list once a year versus going into every course and updating every single thing. And it'll just be easy. We don't have to put in the curriculum. It'll just be part of the, like a working document. So once a year, they put it up. So I was wondering if you were able to research it and.
Well, I'll comment on both of them. First, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that there was a motion on the floor last time about it, and it was shot down. Is that accurate?
No, it was tabled. Delayed till next, because you
Okay.
said you're gonna research.
What I will do in the new year, because we actually spoke about this earlier today, when we have an education committee meeting in January, or whenever we do one in the new year, we will bring up the list of textbooks and discuss it in an education committee meeting. In addition, we're going to be bringing up, Dr. Lakatina and I spoke about coding today, and we will be speaking with our administration about that, and we will provide an update to the education committee meeting as well in the new year.
Okay. In our curriculum, I looked, and then I looked at our courses. In our curriculum, we have Visual Basics as the course, and in our course list, we call it Visual Computer Programming. They're two different, they seemed, and the Visual Computer Programming is a one-year course, and the Visual Basics on our curriculum is a half-year course. So I'm a little confused, if you could please comment on that.
I'm not prepared to comment on that right now. If you could just email us, we could then look into it, but I was not prepared to answer that question right now.
Okay. Can I comment on what the special ed committee, can I say what, if we, like the presentation?
So the special ed, unfortunately, I mean, you could really comment on anything you would like. I can't stop. But
I'm
the
not
special ed committee we had on Monday night, I just did not get the minutes out to everybody yet, but we did have a great special ed committee on Monday night with 3 great topics, and the minutes will be going out to the rest of the board. So the board just hasn't seen those minutes yet, but you were there, but I'll leave it up to you.
Am I allowed to say?
I'll leave that up
what-
to you and Mr. Banta.
If it's nothing confidential, sure. If it-
Okay, so we
There's
had
nothing
a-
confidential, you're good. Yeah.
So we had a presentation on the social emotional learning that the district will, is creating for our students. So one question is, were the parents ever notified that we are making a homegrown social emotional or anything to the parents regarding any of these?
So once again, was not prepared to answer that question right now, but we will get back to you on that.
Okay, and can the community also get a presentation? I think so that they are aware what we're doing for social emotional learning. Would that be possible?
I'll think about it. I really just have to be honest with you, just, you know, I answer so many questions during the week from board members on anything on the agenda. Just for me to be put on the spot and answer questions at the board meeting isn't really helpful right now. I mean, I will look into it and get you responses back to the board.
Okay, and my last thing. The district paid over $10,000 for the board members and the central office employees to go to the New Jersey School Boards Association. I was wondering, can we have a work session to discuss the great ideas that we learned and like bounce back and understand, because so it will be helpful for everyone since the district paid so much money?
We did pay so much money for it. I've already emailed the board, actually the night we came home from New Jersey School Boards, and said, if anybody wanted to share any ideas that they brought back from New Jersey School Boards, to please email me or email the respective committees so that they can be discussed. And we would be happy to look into it, because for us to have a work session and put everything out in public, and it may be things that we're already working on, or things that we're maybe not keen to, or maybe something that has to do with negotiations or something that we really can't discuss. And I sent that email to the entire board saying, please let me know if you would like us to look into anything, or you would like to forward it to the committee chair. And I received one email. So, you know, to have a work session, just to put everything out in public, I think is going to be a marathon that could be very counterproductive. But but that's just my.
I just want to add that Matt Lee said, that's a bad idea. Don't do it that way. The way Nick decided to do it is the way it should be done. Matt Lee, New Jersey School Board's representative, said to just drop 50 items in a work session is chaos, and it's not suggested by school boards at all. Anything else, Rita?
I'll come back for my second round.
Joe?
So I will keep this brief since I feel like every member has mentioned one of my topics now. But to reiterate what Cindy had mentioned, the Veterans Monument was a beautiful ceremony. Despite the rain, it was absolutely packed, and I was amazed. Every veteran I was able to speak to, it was amazing that they came from out of town, from across the state. They were all Fairlawn High School graduates who wanted to come back to the school and thanked the community for recognizing them and their service. I also wanted to comment on the New Jersey School Board Association's workshop that we attended last month, and thank the board and administration for making my first experience a very memorable experience and very informational and informative. Over the next couple of weeks, I will continue to contextualize the things I've learned, do more research, and I look forward to submitting proposals to the board, superintendent, the proper committees, of the different things I learned, because I think there's a lot of things Fairlawn does great, and that was something I saw when talking to other school board members, and areas that we can improve. So I look forward to taking what I learned from that experience and over the next couple weeks bringing that to the table. Our special education committee meeting that we had earlier this week, I just wanted to thank Student Services for the incredible presentation and all the work they are doing in our schools. And I wanted to highlight the transition program and all the community partners that are helping to make it possible for our students to get experience out in the community, work experience, so that they're able to move on following their time in our schools to lead a productive life. So thank you to those community members. And then simply just have a lovely Thanksgiving. This is the first one where we're not masked up. So there's a lot to be thankful for this year. And so simply enjoy the long weekend. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Mike?
Thank you. First of all, I'd like to thank the community. You know, every time you run for election, that night is a very tense night as you see the votes come in, and I want to thank the community for their trust in me again. It's very humbling to go out there and have to ask people for their vote and their respect, and so thank you and congratulations to Lisa and Joe and Ed. I'm sorry. Sorry, Ed. Congratulations to Lisa and Ed. I just want to reiterate what Julie said. Every year there's 3 spots open. It's hard to put yourself out there, and I really appreciate Jean running and Alba. I'm sorry. It's been a night. I also want to share that it was very nice to have the school board workshop back in person again. It's been a couple of years that it wasn't in person. I think just being there and being able to interact with other board members from all over the state is very meaningful to me, and being able to talk to vendors and being able to speak to other people that are doing the same or similar things or different things makes it very worthwhile. I had some problems this year because of my knee situation and getting from place to place, but I really appreciated it. And that is all. Everyone have a happy Thanksgiving, and thanks again.
Thank you, Mike. Rita, you wanted to speak again? No. Okay.
Gene, real quick, just to
Yeah, Nick.
respond, the SEL was, the parents were, they were surveyed last year because it was a district goal, and it was presented mid-year, and the parents were updated on exactly what the program was, so they were included in it. Also, in addition, to answer your question, approximately 300 students utilized tutor.com the first 2 months, and we're seeing the numbers grow moving on.
Okay, thank you. On that note, the December meeting is December 12th, the monthly meeting. And I just want to say one thing about the veterans real quick, because the kids brought it up and then Cindy brought it up. Yeah, it's very nice that we're doing that for the veterans. I know there's at least 2 people at this table that have or had children that served. And I want to thank everyone who has served or has had family members serve. It's tough when they're away for a long, long time. And they're putting their lives in danger. So they deserve everything we give them. And on that note, I want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you December 12th, and I have a motion to adjourn. All in favor? Aye.